You're listening to the Riz and Howard podcast with John M. Laws and yours truly, Riz and Howard, the great poupon. Now, back to the show. Ooh, yeah, baby, we are back. I told you motherfuckers we is back because you motherfuckers. Okay, well, anyways, it's not Freestyle Friday yet. Yeah, we're back with the Riz and Howard podcast with yours truly, Riz and Howard, the great poupon, and my co-host, the incomparable John M. Laws. Now, this week, first of all, guys, we are still looking for sponsors, okay? There is still space, believe it or not. We still have ad space, just a little bit,
right?
But we do have ad space left. So
just
hey, talk to me. I'm cool like that. We can work a deal out. You know what I'm saying? I've been known to sell ad space for as little as the big piece of chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Big piece of chicken.
That's all I need.
Right.
Okay, and brother, I will definitely break you off a piece of that funky stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? But this week we are doing something a little unusual on the Riz Pod. We are going all into John's thoughts. Okay.
Right.
I told you last time we were going to do all John's thoughts. I want you to come inside my astral plane. You understand, Rizeners and Rizenettes? So, without further ado, give it up for John M. Laws.
Yeah. All right. So this is the remake of a episode that I kind of messed up before, but you may hear it in pieces later on. We might do it.
You know what I'm saying?
This episode is gonna be just a bunch of thoughts that we had in mutual conversations that we've had with one another, and conversations that we had in the outside world here. So this one, if I had to give it a overall synopsis, it would be viewpoints of success. So read you a couple quotes here that I thought were interesting. First couple are from Winston Churchill. First one says, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." The second one from Winston Churchill says, "Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." Our next quote comes from Albert Einstein. It says, "Try not to become a man of success. Rather, become a man of value."
Oh, deep.
Our next one here is from Bette Midler. "The worst part of success is trying to find someone who is happy for you."
Oh,
that's a big one right there. Herman Melville says, "It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation."
Unreal.
Yes, that's a poignant one right there.
I like that one.
Last one we have is a quote from a person by the name of W.P. Kinsella, and that one is, "Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get."
Watch out.
So that kind of puts you in the mind frame of what we're going to be discussing here. I have a little short story. Just that when I was in the 8th grade, about me personally, which kind of ties into our success field here. When I was in the 8th grade, I failed my very, very first math class. That was the first math class that I ever failed. Had always done very well in school prior to that point. And I wrote that there are many reasons why I failed this class. That classroom was overcrowded with about 32 students. There was a teacher who was less than enthused by teaching, as she was an older woman. And I definitely remember her being on the outskirts of retirement, just at the cusp, rather, of retirement. The lack of excitement in education made me bored, and I began to check out of class. I didn't really care what was going on, learning or otherwise. I didn't complete assignments on time, and the ones that I did complete weren't even satisfactory because I had no desire to be there. Despite all these very valid reasons, I found many years later what I'd gathered from that failure was that I was not talented in mathematics. I developed a stigma because of all those things. Even though I knew what was going on at the time, it didn't stop that stigma of failure from attaching itself to me. So all the years before that class, I had been, like I said, an above average student with academic awards and certificates to confirm and validate me and verify that I was a very intelligent student then and now. Yet this one failure had planted a small seed of doubt in the fertile grounds of my young and unprepared mind. I gave it sunlight and water, and it did indeed grow. So that's my little brief story there. So what I'll ask Ralph here, and you and RizPodland, if you care to respond to the RizPod at RIZPOD@yahoo.com. You can respond as well. The first question is, what is success? And we'll start with perspective here on success. We'll say, what is success personally, meaning what is success from the inside out? So coming from you, what is success? That's to you, Ralph.
Success is answering a question asked directly to me. Inside Out. So, okay, for me, in a lot of things, death of people close to you put a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I have actually been kind of asking these questions of myself the last couple of weeks and months. But first of all, peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to like battle with fear. Mm-hmm. Every day. I have a thing about fears and fighting them and
right.
Pushing myself further with things that I fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So conquering things that I fear is another I think level of success. Mm-hmm. Inside now health is something that like I feel bad
right
when I am not healthy, because I know it's something I have not done. You know what I mean?
Like almost a failure in being proactive rather.
Being proactive in your own health, and so that is part of happiness for me,
right.
Or success,
right,
is taking care of myself in all aspects of it. You know what I mean? So so that's the personal side of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So you said the happiness, you were talking about happiness and success, which made me think of a question. Is there, well, I know that there is, but could you expound on having success and not having happiness and the adverse of having success with happiness?
Okay, so I feel that. And going back to that one quote, we pull that one up again, where it's
boom.
Success is...
Oh, this last one here.
Okay, yeah. So W.P. Kinsella, Kinsella, whatever. Success is getting what you want. Mm-hmm. Happiness is wanting what you get.
Right.
Success is setting a goal and achieving that goal.
Right.
Happiness is being able to say that goal was worth the shit.
Right.
That it was worth accomplishing.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And now, so here we are. That's what I think we see on all levels of life.
Yeah.
Okay. I chalk it up a lot of times to, midlife crisis. Mm-hmm. But I look a lot of times at even my own life and my own career and how you equate so much to financial success and hey, I'm making money, I'm taking care of myself,
right?
And that's what is successful. And when you look at it, because here it is, fast forward, being in the rat race, a couple decades now, we know that it's basically mega rich and the rest of us is broke motherfuckers. Either you got $500 million in the bank or you a broke motherfucker. That's the truth of the matter. Do you know what I'm saying? You in here with us, so it's like, especially like, you remember I was telling you switching over to West Dallas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's gonna be a little bit less as a teacher, and which it ain't really a big pay cut, but
right.
But the fact of the matter is, I wasn't gonna be a millionaire at the end of either. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whether I work my career out, here or there, this is not the profession that you go to looking for financial success, financial gain.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what made that decision easy. And like, I might as well be happy. Mm-hmm. I might as well be less stressed.
Right.
And still be able to accomplish a goal that I had, which was to be a teacher.
Yeah.
To teach children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which, like I said, I've accomplished that. That's a success. Mm-hmm. But was I happy?
Right.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, not when I'm teaching in a district that doesn't have the resources that I need to be be successful and stuff like that. So, looking at it that way, I think that you look at success as more of a tangible thing, whereas happiness, you get more to a state of mind.
Right.
Where you talking about peace of mind. You're talking about have I done enough?
Right.
Have I done enough for the people that I want to do stuff for?
Right,
and things
right.
like that. So, yeah, I can see a lot of people being successful. I mean, shit, look at Louis C.K. right now.
Yeah.
He's successful as a motherfucker.
No, he ain't happy.
You can't be. If he is, then he for real is a psychopath.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you about to get it, brother.
Right.
You ain't finna stop.
Right.
But yeah, so there you are. There's your duality of existence, which is, yo, man. I mean, we deal with that a lot as Americans. You know, you should be happy. You got food and you got the heat and you got clothing and clean water.
Right.
But we be walking around like the most miserable motherfuckers in the world because happiness is relative.
Yeah.
Happiness is based off expectation.
Yep.
It is a state of existence.
And it is fluid because of that.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, ain't it?
Yeah.
Ain't it though?
Yeah.
And you know, but then you look at it and you start understanding those statements of like, yo, man, it's in your mind.
Yeah.
You know, free your mind and your ass will follow.
Yeah.
That once you take your mind out of bondage of any sort, that you will physically be free soon after.
Yeah.
Once you take your mind out of it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The next thing you know, your whole body will be free.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I think there is something to that. And so that's why I say I look for that in happiness, a peace of mind.
Yeah.
Being fearless, not being afraid to be afraid.
Right. There's a difference between being fearless and I would say the difference between being brave and having no fear.
Right.
You can be brave while being afraid.
Yeah. Well, and then learning that there's even techniques to that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, no, this is how you handle being panicked.
Right.
This is how you breathe
when
you know the adrenaline is pumped in.
Yeah.
This is how you stay focused in the middle of chaos. And
right.
there are tactics, there are skills to that, and that is what training is, and that's what, and a lot of it is emotional and mental.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But mentally and emotionally right now, I am tired. So let's take a break, man. See, like I said, once again, if you had paid for advertising space, this is where I'd be. You got 3 minutes right here.
Right here.
Could have had 3 minutes for the price of a chicken bone.
The big piece of chicken bone.
Big piece of chicken. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But yeah, so we'll be back in a sec with the Riz Pod. If you'd like to advertise your product or service, reach out to us at therizpod@yahoo.com. TheRizPod@yahoo.com.